top focus on WION right now. In a fiery Senate hearing, U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. defended his controversial overhaul of the nation's vaccine policies amid mounting calls from Democrats for his resignation. The hearing lasted over 3 hours, often breaking into heated arguments, coming just days after the sudden dismissal of CDC Director Sue Monarez, a move that has thrown the country's top public health agency into chaos. Kennedy sharply criticized the CDC's handling over the COVID-19 pandemic, calling their guidance on masking, social distancing and school closures disastrous and nonsensical. Well, he further argued that the agency needs bold, competent and creative new leadership, and also highlighted his department's new focus on chronic diseases. However, Monarez fired back in a Wall Street Journal op-ed accusing Kennedy of purposely weakening America's public health system and vaccine protections. Kennedy told senators he fired her after questioning her trustworthiness. Here's an excerpt.
You're the Secretary of Health and Human Services. You don't have any idea how many Americans died from COVID?
I don't think anybody knows that because there was so much data chaos coming out of the CDC, and there was so many perverse incentives. And these are modeled.
You don't know the answer of how many Americans died from COVID. This is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Do you think the vaccine did anything to prevent additional deaths?
Again, I would like to see the data and talk about the data.
You have had this job for 8 months, and you don't know the data about whether the vaccine saved
and
lives?
that's the problem.
Democrats on the Senate Finance Committee, led by Senator Ron Wyden, demanded Kennedy should be sworn in under oath and accused him of lying in previous testimony about vaccine access. Wyden went further, saying Kennedy should resign or be fired by the U.S. president.
Could you explain what steps you're going to be taking to ensure vaccine guidance is clear, evidence-based, and trustworthy?
We're going to make it clear, evidence-based, and trustworthy for the first time in history.
If you're going to want Americans to get healthier, should they have access to nutritionists? Should they have access to good science about healthy food?
Absolutely.
Well, then how is that going to happen with the Medicaid cuts that are taking place?
There are no cuts to Medicaid.
Sir, that is an absurd.
Republicans mostly defended Kennedy, but some, including Senator Bill Cassidy, expressed concern about his moves to cut funding for mRNA vaccine research technology credited with saving millions of lives. The debate reflects deep partisan divides over vaccine policies, with states like Florida ending school immunization requirements, while West Coast states move to form independent vaccine advisory groups to counter federal influence.